Hey sis, hey. So I'm going to redo this video because the last video got cut off. So I'm going to start over and talk about the top fears in dating. All right, love. So the first top fear in dating is the fear of rejection. And these fears are important to know because you need to know where you're at. You need to know if you're wrestling with one of these fears, and then you also need to know how to combat these fears. So the first one that I run across in many of my potential clients or even my current clients is the fear of rejection. And if this resonates with you, tap a heart, let me know. And so what a fear of rejection is, hey Veronica, what a fear of rejection is that it's a fear that you are not good enough. It's a fear that you're not pretty enough, you're not thin enough, you don't look good enough. It's a fear that maybe, you don't look as good as you looked like a couple years ago. So all of these fears are based in rejection. So you're afraid of going on a date because you're worried about what he may say or what he may think. And really, you guys, here's what I want to say about fear of rejection. A lot of that is in your head. A lot of that is in your mind. A lot of that is just there to keep you from going forward, there to keep you from moving, in the direction that God wants you to as far as meeting your potential destiny mate, the person that your heart is supposed to be with. And so when it comes to fear of rejection, you guys, we need to know that firstly, it's something that can be conquered. And then the next thing that I want you to know when it comes to fear of rejection is that you can overcome it. And also that everybody experiences at some level a little tinge of fear. And if you're not a little afraid of dating, then you may be a little bit, you're super courageous, but it's human to have a little bit of fear. But what's also human and what's also healthy is if you have a desire in your heart, you go after that thing, and it's so funny to me as professional women and the women that I work with, they're highly successful. We go after everything that we want. We go after our houses, our cars. We go after everything that we want. But when it comes to dating or putting our hearts out there, suddenly we get afraid, right? We get afraid, we get scared. There's this fear of rejection. And while that's normal, you guys, just like it doesn't keep you from going after your dream job or your dream house, and the women I work with are super successful, the fear of rejection should not keep you from opening your heart again, And so it's going to take courage. It's going to take resilience. It's going to take all of that. But I promise the end result is so worth it in the end. The second fear that you may be dealing with, and thank you guys for the heart. It makes me feel so good inside. I really appreciate it. The second fear that you may be dealing with is the fear of failure. I had started to talk about this in the last video, but for some reason the video ran out, so that's okay. We'll talk about it again. So the fear of failure, the fear that you're going to fail again because you failed in the past. You failed in the past relationships. Maybe you made some of the wrong moves. Maybe you just are like, I'm just bad at relationships. And that's where you put somebody like me in place to support you and to help you and to get the help you need. Whether you get it with myself or someone else that you trust, you want to get somebody there who can support you and guide you and give you the tools and skills that you need to support you along the way. All right. So if you keep making pitfalls and errors, sometimes it takes a person who does relationships to really help you to say, hey, these are the areas where you're struggling at. These are the areas where I can help you. And this is how I can support you. So if that is you and you're like, well, maybe I just need a little bit of more help and that'll make me feel more courageous to go back out there, then women who really do have compassion for themselves, they get the help that they need. They get the help that they need, right? And so if that's you guys, side note, make sure that you book a call with me. I have a few more appointments on my calendar before my April 17th program begins, which I'm super excited. And the women that I work with, they're highly successful women. They're go-getters. They're ambitious. I have single moms in my programs. So yeah, if you're interested in working with me, book a call and let's see if we're a good fit. Right? All right. The next fear that you may be dealing with is that you are dealing with, we said the fear of rejection, we said the fear of failure, and I was just getting into, you may be dealing with the fear of what will other people think? What will they think if they find out that I put myself back out here and, I just had a breakup a month ago. I just got out of a relationship 6 months ago, or whatever your thing is in your head. So what I want to say about that, you guys, and this is the most powerful lesson I've learned over, I would say, the past year, is that you have got to take care of you. You got to do what's best for you. So if you feel healed and you feel ready to move forward and you feel ready to open your heart to love again, there's nothing wrong with putting yourself back out there. I can't tell you, I've heard of so many Christian women, testimonies after testimonies of how they met their husband a month after they broke up with someone, or 2 months after they broke up with someone, or 6 months after they broke up with someone. And so a lot of times we love to like put things in a neat little package with a neat little bow and say, you need to wait 1 year before you date again. And that's just not the way that I operate, and that's not authentic to me. So I would never counsel you on that. I would say, are you ready to do the work? Are you ready to heal? Are you ready to move forward? And then I will support you with the tools you need to move forward so that you can open your heart again. I really am not a fan of women putting themselves up on a shelf. Like, I just cannot. So what that means is when you put yourself up on the shelf, that means that he's moved on. Because men don't, here's the thing, you guys, I'm going to teach you something. Men don't really take as long as we do to move on. A lot of times men can move on pretty fast, within the next week, within the next month, within the next couple months. But for us as women, oftentimes we use this long excuse of we need closure, and oh, we need to go eat ice cream for 6 months, and we need to gain 20 pounds and work it off. I'm talking about myself. I've done these things before. So I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about, I've done this. So I know, and I know, like, for sure that if you're in your late 20s or your early 30s or 40s or even 50s, because I have clients in their 50s, you don't have time to be putting yourself on the shelf for a whole 6 months or a whole year. Like, that's just not healthy. Like, what are we doing here? Unless the Lord has specifically came down, gave you a word, told you to sit down somewhere. A lot of times we put ourselves in positions like, I'm just going to wait. Oh, and the man who's talking to me every day, I'm going to ignore him. Or the man who's talking to me every day, I'm just going to not pay attention to him. Instead of getting the tools we need, instead of getting the support we need, instead of getting the help we need, we just put ourselves on the shelf. And so when we put ourselves on the shelf, what happens is that we lose so much time. We lose time. So then now, not only have we gone through the breakup, but now we have 6 months or a year that we're wasting with whatever we call ourselves doing, which a lot of times we're moping about the man that's gone. He's not coming back. Like, in some cases, he does come back. And when he does, I pray that you're in a position where you're healed, you're whole, and you're hopefully dating. Like, that's the position that I would encourage anybody who's working strategically with me to do, because you need to move on for yourself. Because at the core of what I teach you guys, it's about, 1, loving Christ. Like, he is my foundation for everything. And 2, loving yourself. So what does loving yourself mean? That means that you're not going to sit there and mope over a man who doesn't want you. Like, you get a period of grieving of maybe like 2 weeks, maybe a month. After that, you need to be open to seeing what else is in front of you. There's nothing behind you. Like, a lot of times we keep looking behind, but you guys, I promise you, you know what happened to Lot's wife when she kept looking behind? She turned into a pillar of salt. Look that story up in the Bible. And I use that illustration to tell you that if you keep looking back, there's nothing good back there, you know? And so we've got to, as women, you know, really decide what we desire, what we want, and put ourselves in the best position to move forward and to make progress in our love lives. It's so funny how you guys, we are so successful. Like, women, the women I work with, like I said, are so successful. Cars, houses, jobs, kids, bomb mothers, like, amazing. And then we just say with our love lives, it's just like, it'll just happen, or we'll just wait and see and stuff like that. And I just really believe in getting the support we need. Now let's keep talking about the failures, okay? So, or the fears. So we talked about the fear of rejection. We talked about the fear of failure. We have talked about the fear of what will people think, what will people say. Oh, let me stay on that for a second. Angela says, help somebody tonight. God, I'm so happy to you guys. I was actually I saw this topic and I was so inspired by it. It was basically saying how, you know, Christian culture has basically kept women single for so long. And I feel like I am called to help to break this. Like, I do not believe that if you desire marriage that it's a sin. I do not believe that if you desire marriage that you should not position yourself for it. I do not believe in putting yourself, if you're already, especially in your late 20s or early 30s or 40s, 50s, 60s, on extended long I won't date fast unless the Lord told you to, specifically, not because you saw somebody else's story and you're inspired. I believe that God gives us free will and free choice, and I believe that you should equip yourself with the tools, knowledge, and skills, and position yourself so that your husband can't find you. That's what I believe. All right, so the next fear that may keep you from dating and keep you from going forward again is, what if I get my heart broken? What if I get my heart broken? And to that, you guys, and if that resonates with you, go ahead and tap a heart, because like I definitely have felt that before. But if that resonates with you, I want to tell you, what if you don't? What if you don't get your heart broken? What if you enter into one of the greatest love stories that you couldn't even imagine, with a man who's better than, you could have even imagined, with somebody who you're just like, God, you had this on reserve for me? What if you don't get your heart broken? Or what if you get your heart broken, but you have support necessary to get the help to get right back up and to keep going? And so I feel like a lot of us have a pessimistic view, like a bad view of, oh, well, there's only doom and gloom, and, there's nothing out there. But guys, we serve a big God, and we serve an abundant God. And I'm here to encourage you to think bigger and to trust God for bigger, and to trust him that he's able to send you a man that's better than your last man. That's what I want you to believe, versus just being stuck on this one man who's not paying attention to you, this one man who's not calling you, this one man who's not texting you. Believe God for better. Believe God for better. Like, God is able. We believe him for houses. We believe him for cars. We believe him for checks. We believe him for businesses. Believe God for better. And then don't just believe him, but put some work behind it. And that's why I love the women that really step up for themselves. And they're like, Djuana, I'm doing the program. Djuana, I know I need help in this area. Because not only do they believe, but the Bible says that faith without works is dead. They put some faith behind that. And then they put some action behind that. So that makes the difference too. So if you know that maybe you struggle in certain areas, get the support and get the help you need. All right, the next fear that we may have when it comes to dating is, we talked about the fear of getting your heart broken. The next fear that we may have when it comes to dating is a fear of how the man will perceive us, how the man will view us, if the man will like us. You guys, that goes back to not really knowing how to really love ourselves and position ourselves in a way that, regardless of if he likes you or not, you're still okay. You're not going to crack like a broken egg. You're not going to sit there and crack. Because guess what? Everybody has an opinion. And guess what? Everybody doesn't like apple pie, and that's okay. And there are some men who will absolutely love apple pie and scoop it up with ice cream, and that's okay too. And the point of this is that you won't be everybody's cup of tea, but for somebody, you're going to be perfect. And when you really work on yourself, and when you really work on your self-love, and when you really know that you are everything because you worked on yourself in the presence of God, and you affirm yourself, you know who you are. You aren't worried about who doesn't like you. It's their loss, okay? And so that is the position, that's the posture that I teach my clients to come from. A position of, it's their loss. There's abundance of men out there. So many men. You don't have to be limited to that one man who's gone. You don't. There's so many men. God has so many billions of people on the earth. Why can't he not have one good, strong Christian man for you? And this is not a pipe dream. This is reality. This is faith. This is facts. God is able. So I think that at the core of all this fear, we need to raise our faith to believe like God is able. He is able, and he does have somebody for you, but are you willing to do the work? Are you willing to position yourselves? Are you willing to learn the skills and tools to emotionally attract a man and to keep that connection going with him? Are you willing to do the work to learn what it takes to make him want to keep pursuing you? Are you willing to do that? Now, it's one thing to just believe, but can you also do the work with it, all right? So I hope that this bless you tonight on your fears, and I just hope that it encourages you to get over your fears and to just be like, you know what? I feel fear and I'm going to do it anyway. There's some sort of quote that talks about like doing it afraid or something. I don't know if that's like Nike, do it anyway or something. Just do it. Just do it. So yeah, guys, do you guys have any quick questions that you want to ask? But that's pretty much all that I have for tonight. And if you would like to book a call with me and you want support to get back out there, I believe in positioning. Ruth absolutely positioned. And guess what? She had a Naomi. And Naomi in the Bible was a mentor. She gave Ruth instruction on how to position herself at Boaz's feet, what steps to take next. And so if you're really missing that Naomi woman, I'm not old, but I can absolutely help you. So if you're missing that person in your life and you're like, man, Djuana, like I really could use your support. I'm kind of terrified to get back out there. I'm not really quite sure what to do and I don't want to mess up. Maybe you have a good potential relationship with a man. Maybe you're like, I don't want to mess this upcoming one up. Make sure that you reach out to me, you guys. Because the worst thing that we can do is to keep wasting time. Wasting time on the shelf, wasting time, waiting months and months and months, going around the mulberry bush, wasting time. You know, Shalita says, I'm just trying to believe God to bring my husband, but I'm just so leery of everyone. How do I get over that? Shalita, I would encourage you to book a call with me, firstly, so that I can kind of talk you through this more. But I would definitely say that you definitely have to change your perspective towards men. How is God going to send you a man if you don't like men, have a problem with men, don't believe good men exist, think that all men are dogs? And I'm not saying you have that mindset, Shalita, but some women do have that mindset, and yet you still want, you know, a good man. So if that's the case where you like are leery, don't trust them, don't want them, just know that that is pushing men away from you. Even though you may not be saying the word, that is pushing men away because they can feel that. You know, they can feel that. And so you really got to change your heart, your mindset, and your attitude towards men. And that goes into a lot of what I do with mindset work with my clients. Like, you really got to change that. And like I told my client, I talked to one woman, she enrolled this week on the phone, and she was just so scared. This woman was so scared. She works part-time. She really didn't have the money like that. She was so scared to invest in this. But what pushed her over the edge and caused her to invest in what I'm doing is, one, she knows I know my stuff. I wouldn't be on here teaching you guys if I didn't. And then two, she knew that, you know what, she was afraid, but she was going to do it anyway. And she knew that if she kept wasting time, that she would not be able to get that time back, and she didn't want to keep making the same mistakes. So that's why she invested. And so that's what I work with my clients on. Your mindset is everything. And some women, this is what I told her when she was like in between, should I enroll with Djuana, should I not? I'm just like, some women need support and some women don't. I'm not that woman. I needed lots of support. I needed a whole master's degree of support. I needed relationship support. I needed so much support to get me to the point where I am now, and at a happy place where I am right now, keeping my business private, but where I am right now. So you all, if you need the support, it's okay. Some women, like for instance, I have a sister, she's been married right after she got out of high school. We are two different women, you know, and some women just naturally, they go down that path and that's their path, and other women need support. So if you need support, you say, I acknowledge I need support, Djuana. I love the way that you're talking, and it doesn't even have to be with me. Whoever you resonate with. You know, I like the way that you're talking. I really want support, and then you book a call and take the next steps, okay? So I hope that helped you. Your mindset towards men is everything, because if you really feel leery towards men, you really don't trust men, there's a lot of work that has to be done around that, and it's understandable too, you know? A lot of us have been hurt by men. A lot of us have been mistreated by men, but you really got to do a lot of work if you really want God to send you a man, because he's not going to send you what you're afraid of. All right. Do you guys have any other questions for me before I get ready to go? That was a great question, Shalita. I appreciate that. And if you guys enjoyed this, make sure you tap hearts. Make sure you reach out to me on my Calendly to book an appointment. I really want only serious people who are really serious about taking their love life to the next level and investing in themselves, you guys. I believe that if you have skin in the game, if you're invested in yourself, you'll get better results, you know. And so if you really want to work with me and go to the next level in your love life, I promise you it's going to be life-changing. Like, I don't care who's teaching. Somebody else was like, well, there's one lady who's teaching and then you're teaching, so why can't I just go get the cheaper program? And I'm just like, we're two different people. I respect what that woman does and I respect what I do. I know what I have to offer. I know the results that I can get. And so at the end of the day, I believe in myself and I believe in the results of my clients. So if this resonates with you, you guys, book a call with me. I love you guys. This felt really good to do. And I'll be talking to you guys soon. Remember, my program starts April 17th. You're going to be getting, it's an intensive program, you guys. You guys are going to be literally working with me for months. Like, it's not just like a 4 weeks and done program. It's not just like a, here you go, here's a 6 weeks recorded course, go away. No, because I want to work with you to make sure you get results. I want to be there when you have questions, when you're dating. I want to be there like for every step of the way. So this program that I have to offer you at the end of my call is only for women who wants the most personalized, highest level of support from me. And you're going to have to invest, but I promise you that the support you get and the lifelong access to the course you get will be so worth it. So worth it in the end. So I love you guys, and I hope this blessed you, and I'll talk to you guys later. Book a call at one of those links in the group, okay? Bye.